Yeah, it's steaming now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Homebrew Hunts, and
Hello.
and I hope that everyone is having a great
I'm
day.
getting it out.
Now then, due to one player being
Yeah.
here, we will not be visiting Mister Boom Boom, but we will be still in the prison. Now let's see then. Due to an
Mm,
issue, due to an issue, our little companion from before had to leave, and so now and the jail was closed and opened again.
mm,
And it is now another day, another morning in the prison.
eh.
There we go.
Hello, Mom. Hello, halfling. Hello, little cutie. And just kind of talks to the little girlie.
She waves her hand timidly, and just goes back to simply looking at the floor. The halfling and dwarf don't really acknowledge you. They just sit back doing their own thing. The dwarf is carving stone with another piece of stone. The halfling is just on his back whistling.
Cooking's looking good so far. I'm happy.
Mm.
Who knows? They might be bakery worthy.
All right. So what would? Okay. So what?
First try is the final product. And there's the point.
All right,
Mm.
so
What was it
Mucky
saying?
Mucky, what would you like to do until then?
Well, I would like to start formulating a little plan. But just kind of going over to the other two, just like, so, before we keep going, shall we
I
give
like
each
for
other
it.
names, or shall we just keep going by the name of our race?
Son of a. Stay there. My
The
God.
dwarf doesn't really just looks up to you for a second and keeps on carving the stone. The halfling says, "Race is fine. There's no race in here. Only clans, gangs, and of course the guards and warden." Uh,
So, you guys want to work with me on special plans?
the dwarf finally looks up after finishing a carving. The carving is of
The chocolate's being real thick and not really mixing with the heavy cream all that well.
oh the dwarf's statue
Oh,
is of
now
a
it's starting
simple
to.
anvil, and he says, are you planning a breakout?"
Yep.
Two things.
Got a couple people come back from a
Shush,
couple bits.
shush, 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 shush. Look, look. It's great you want to get in on it with us, but we're fine here. I'm here because I want to be here.
What are you saying
I'm
about?
paying for my crimes. He got caught.
Oh no,
Sure,
it's thick
paying
enough
for
for
your
dipping.
crimes,
It just
the
wasn't
halfling
really
says.
mixing that well until I
The
was like
dwarf replies,
picking up the
"Of course I
chocolate and putting
am.
it on top of the cream.
I could have broken out of here 3 times already, although it'd still be extremely difficult, especially with the quicksand.
You want to come see?
That would be almost impossible to get past.
Quicksand is made of rock, right?
Tiny rocks, but yes, sort of like a muddish rock. But what you don't get,
Oh, it's real thick.
he points to outside of the bars. Outside of those walls is nothing but quicksand for over a mile. Nothing
I
but
Then
can't
I'll
hear you. You're
start
mumbling.
say what?
Then I'll just have to harden it. It's simple for a mage caster like me.
Yes, yes, but
No,
the
no, no, no,
second
no, no,
they find out you're a mage. Oh wait, you already have that on. But wouldn't you not be able to use it? Because, he points to his neck, indicating at yours.
Mm,
But never mind. Even if you manage to somehow use magic, just just the sense of magic will make the warden know where you are. I mean, if it's powerful enough, which you're probably gonna need something powerful to harden it. The second,
cantrips. All I need are cantrips.
okay, so let's say you were able to use your magic and only use cantrips. You would still have to use magic consistently without being noticed by the guards, which, mind you, round this place like sharks in water. Or what was it called again? Uh, I'm pretty sure that was saying. It was in an old book I read down in the mines once to pass time.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the saying I heard. Swimming around like sand sharks.
No, actually, it's a little bit. The book I was reading, it was old and I could just barely translate it, but it definitely said sharks circling in water, and
Strange.
yeah.
There have been a couple of weird ancient boats out here. Maybe we can talk to the historian once we're out. If you get out.
Well, you see, had I had after that I had gone and asked around for a bit. It was actually just before I turned myself in for something. Anyways, I had asked him, and he had noted that plenty of ancient civilizations remain still are here, only because they are much harder to destroy through time. But it seems like that the majority of this, even here, used to be an ocean, what he called it, a mass of water, farther than the eye can see, filled with creatures not even we could comprehend.
Mm.
I'm not sure if he was mad, high, or I mean, he was definitely high. I mean, hello, he was one of those j- whatever the
Genasi?
no, whatever the technical name for giraffe people were. Not, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the lack of oxygen was getting to his brain on that one. But I'm not.
Actually, it's more oxygen that they can get, and they don't need to have too much oxygen. It's weird.
That is. But for now, let's let's focus on something else. My original point I was trying to get before I started chasing squirrels is you really shouldn't speak openly about escape plans here. Any number of prisoners could hear you and try to get in good with one of the guards or even the warden by telling them. If you get in good with the guards or warden, they'll sneak goods into you. So
So what you're saying is, befriend a couple guards, have a couple friends sneak in some stuff. As long as we're not caught, we could have some cherry rope.
well, yes, but you would have to win one of the guards' favors. And, well, let's just say these guys ain't the run of the mill town guards.
Yeah, I can't just booze them up or pay them out. After all of our stuff was taken.
There is one way, though. Now, you didn't hear this from me. The halfling pipes in. Oh, would you quit it with fanatics? Two dragonborn are gonna fight tomorrow in the yard. Well, I'm pretty sure one's a dragonborn. I'm pretty sure that one of them is just three kobolds in a three kobolds in a prison outfit. They're very
Well,
welcome.
if I'm able to befriend three at once, it's a lot better than just one strong man. They can take out with a guy with a little bit of help. Mhm.
The dwarf strikes in, but there is also another way. You could tell one of the guards about the fight, and as a result, they get to have fun with the dragonborns, which means that they would have, which means you would be in some of their favors.
Mm,
So I did
got
the
it, got it. I think I know a natural way of doing it, making myself look like a little bit of an idiot that easily spills the beans, but when that also is smart enough, you know?
He simply sighs and leans back as he goes to grab another rock and says, "Whatever, it's your loss if you end up getting tortured to death." We pan over to Cicada's cell, where the bartender is still keeping to herself, trying not to raise suspicion about herself or even making anybody look in her direction. Cicada, what would you be doing around this time?
Zook, Paris knows it.
Cicada!
Zook! Zook!
Cicada!
Boy toy!
Cicada!
Let me take pictures of my cookies in haste.
You can talk while taking pictures?
I was trying to, but you guys kept yelling.
Your voice is not catching. Sorry.
Ooh.
Also, there's the cookies.
Ooh. Mm. Gimme.
On. Think of the bones, man. Think of the bones. Think of those rotten bones with the flesh hanging off them, eaten by maggots as that buzzard chokes it down their
All
throat as the acid bubbles it away.
all you had to say was maggots.
Now we just gotta wait for that to cool. We could possibly, if we find a way, pop them in the fridge.
All right, but
If
let's.
we want to get the
Okay,
glaze to
okay, Cicada. How about we
freeze
stop
up.
before Maki Maki decides to eat his own hand?
You hear me, Mom? That's if the glaze doesn't harden itself. Yeah. Then plus now we have all that extra ones. Looks good. Aren't these good final products?
Okay.
This is the first frickin' batch.
In the meantime,
Imagine me making
after a
hundreds of
while, the
these.
cell doors open as you hear the whistle for lunch. Everyone gets up and starts walking, including the dwarf and halfling. The little girl's sticking by you, so where do you go?
What's going on? I'm sorry. Again, I was talking to Mom about the cookies.
The the
Kind of a
cell
hard time to do D&D.
the cell doors open as the whistle blows as now it's lunchtime. Where are you going?
He's going. to probably the lunch.
All right, Maki Maki, will you be heading to the lunchroom too?
Yeah, and get myself a little and get myself a pudding, but stashing it away. Yeah,
They
making it seem a little sneaky, but not at all trying to be.
got it. And actually, when you get there, you see multiple different types of food, and weirdly enough, you see multiple types of very common gems, which go to as you hold out your tray, the grumpy lunch person scoops out some and puts it on your thing and hands you a canteen of milk.
Thank you very much.
It she simply nods as she makes something that looks a little bit better, a bit of what you can probably make out as mac and cheese and something to do with chicken, and hands it to the little girl, along with another canteen of chocolate milk. The girl doesn't really look up and actually seems pretty afraid as she walks directly behind you again.
Uh, don't worry about the little one. They're just a little scared. And this can go to my place, hiding also a gem for later on.
Okay, Cicada, what would you like to eat?
He's just gonna have whatever's there.
It looks similar to oatmeal, possibly slop. You're not fully sure, as the lunch lady slaps some on your tray. The food is decent to say, but in the corner you actually see some dwarves start trying to mess with one of the orc guards, which he's not, you can tell he's taking it, but it looks like he's about to break any second. Is there anything you would like to do, or would you just like to ignore it?
Gonna ignore.
I'm guessing Forlin doesn't see this. I'm not Forlin, Maki Maki.
Right. But you do eventually hear it as you begin to hear a more of a commotion from the area. As more guards come, a couple more dwarves decide to join the first small group and are beginning to argue, and pushing is beginning to start.
Yeah, Maki Maki is gonna just kind of have to trade down. It's like, hey, kiddo, can you watch my lunch for a bit? I'm gonna stop a fight before it gets too bad.
She she
I
nods
know
her
you
head
can.
weakly.
Eat up and be a big, strong girl, okay?
She nods her head again.
And quickly goes over and just like, hey, what's all this about?
You can't really hear anything besides a whole bunch of yelling over the dwarves and orcs who are trying to calm them down.
Mm, got it. So we'll just like, everyone, silent.
For a second, you do get everyone's attention before one of the dwarves says, "What are you doing here, little lizard? Scram!" As he grabs you by your tail and on once.
I immediately grab him by the hair, just like, hey, you don't grab by the tail.
Ooh, hold on, give me a second. All right, All right, the fighting is continuing without anybody really. All right, after that, most of them, most everybody returned to what they were doing, but the dwarf's throw, on the other hand, um, un, un momento, ah, a 14 manages to actually rip off a good chunk of his hair as he throws you.
All I want to know is what is all this going on for?
You don't really get an answer from all the screams, and the more screaming coming from the one dwarf causes the orcs to get a little bit more violent.
And this time, Forlin is not going to be stopped by Simple Dwarf as they start barreling through the rest of them and getting between the orcs and the guards. Just like, hey, 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 calm down, both of you, before you start trying to kill each other.
The One of the orcs says, "Look, it's good they don't want people to get hurt, but sometimes bad people have to be beaten, even inside a prison where they think they rule everything."
Okay, which one of you broke the respect of the boundaries between each other first?
It's hard to hear over everything yelling, but you can definitely hear one dwarf and one orc saying how they were the one who pushed them and shoved them on purpose, which does cause a bit of confusion. Oh, also, can please make me a perception check?
Yep. Deep beyond. 12?
You notice some figures going up to the table that you had just left, but you can't make out much. Besides, three figures moving to the table that you had just left.
Seeing this, I immediately start piecing bit by bit together, just like, oh, this was done on purpose for a distraction. It's like, now listen here, you two ugly bastards! It's either you will stop fighting, I'm gonna get the warden on both your asses!
At the word of the warden, multiple of
And
the at the direct word of the warden, a couple of them actually begin to settle down a little bit, fearing the warden's wrath.
of course you're all pussies.
One of them, at that, one of them turns around and says, "Oh, I am. You think I care what that oversized thing thinks? Well, guess what? I rule here." As he turns around and proceeds to take the legs out one of the guards, causing the others begin fighting, and well, you can probably see where this is going.
Yeah, at this time, it's like, oh yeah, never mind my original plan. This is a lot more fun. And it's like, I guess it started early. Immediately jumping off if the one guard I was still on and screaming over to the other side, seeing that there's another guard on this other side.
Actually, as you begin to fall, you actually see a sight that's not so good. you see three you see three men you see three large figures, two men and one woman, two men and one woman, actually speaking to the little girl, and the little girl seems a bit, well, she seems a bit scared.
Yeah, I'm immediately gonna get one of those prison forks, break it so the two prongs on the outside, all that's left, and immediately tackle.
Okay, which one? All right, there's two humans. There are two humans, one of which is a girl, and one male elf.
Oh yeah, I'm immediately going after the elf. Out of character, I have a slight prejudice against them. In character, it's just the weakest person I can see.
Got it.
And just immediately grapple the elf with a. This will just be a straight strength check.
Oh,
14.
got it. Bully at that same thing, cicada.
Hmm.
As you were eating, you actually hadn't noticed it before, but only now would you actually see the little kobolds running across the cafeteria to to go stab three people messing with, what do you know, the little girl. What do you do?
My little girl?
Yep.
He's gonna get up and immediately start going over to his young wife.
I see. Do you walk? Do you run?
Slight brisk jog.
He fast walks over.
All right then. By the way, Mucky Mucky, can please roll me a roll? Can please roll to hit for me, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is just a prism fork. It won't do too much damage
It.
unless I got it in the right place. So it's like gonna be a D4 even if I do hit. This is improvised. Oh god. Nat 20.
Oh. Okay, because it was a nat 20, you get to choose where you hit it. Between the right and left arms, right and left leg, the torso, or the head.
The eyes.
The eyes. Well then, as you run viciously toward the elf, as you and break off a piece of the prison fork, you jump and stab the fork into the elf's eye. Please roll me a 1d6.
Oh, D6. Okay. 5.
All right, the elf takes 5 points of damage. Oh, little thing here. It's not because the fork does 1d6 points of damage. It's the fact that you hit a very, very, very sensitive and vital point. Otherwise, it would have been a simple 1 point of damage.
Yeah. Just immediately hit, jump back, and defensive force pose.
All right, and all right, Cicada. As you see this, what do you do?
Nothing. Other than continue walking towards his child.
Got it. And as and actually soon after that you actually hear many different calls of fight, and you actually get a few hints of calm down, let's reason with this, but the majority are simple fights, as you can actually see a couple more fights breaking out around the.
Just like. Go ahead.
No, no, it's all right, you go first.
Okay. What are you doing here? Why were you talking to her? Planning on something stupid?
That's the two humans back off for a second while the elf simply says, "As you wouldn't get it. You're new here. You don't know how the prison runs. And
And how
Get
exactly
for
does
who
his prison
people like
run?
me and them, well, let's just say a little girl in a big prison, not exactly the safest thing.
Trust
That is
me.
when that is when Cicada comes up from behind Maki Maki with I already rolled a nat 20 in his intimidation.
Okay
Wonder
then.
what's the total with them.
Okay then. You actually, as you do that, after he finished that sentence, you actually see him physically freeze up, and you actually feel a very, very intense aura behind you as the two humans actually back off and run, and are weirdly enough jumped by two other human prisoners there, while while the elves while the elf is still trying to clutch the whole thing with adrenaline. He is currently still backing off as what he can only describe as seeing the Grim Reaper approaching him.
He's not wrong.
He actually he actually tries to grab the girl, but before even y'all can do anything, you actually see his hand turn to a snake and the snake biting him.
Hmm.
As
Interesting.
and weirdly enough, as you pass by, you do see a fae, like a fairy fae, flying by with a little tray of food as she gives a small smirk to y'all. And the snake continuously bites as the fighting begins worse and worse. As as everyone's pushing and shoving, the fight's only growing larger and larger.
Yeah, Forlin immediately just like, eek. Now, if you don't want that kid trying to kill you, explain in detail quick.
Uh, uh, like
The
what
guards won't come to save you.
he the fairy flies by and again and says, "Oh, trust me, no one here even likes him. The only reason those two were with him is because they had no idea what he's done. Do whatever you want to him. No one's coming. Not the guards, not the warden, not other prisoners. Nobody likes his kind."
Oh, what did he do? Rape?
Oh no, that's a
Something.
form of. Oh no, no. It's similar to canines here. That is simply a form of intimidation and telling people you are the boss. Yet in
Except when it comes to children.
which he, which he was accused, found guilty of, and eventually confessed to.
Hey, question. You think I'm able to get something like what you did off on him if I'm quick enough? Because they won't suspect someone with a collar on.
Well, that's the thing. I'm a cute little fairy fae who's, oh no, out of magic because she used the last bit of it to turn a man to bread. Sorry, but I'm afraid that in order to keep my cover as a weak-willed fairy, I I can't help y'all anymore.
It's okay. I have my own cover. Thank you very much.
You're
And
welcome.
I proceed to go up to him just before touching him, heat up my hands a little bit, preparing, and aim straight for the crotch.
Okay, what spell?
Firebolt. It's a cantrip. It's small. It's mighty.
Do not you do not even need to roll. Point blank and him prone leaves him almost a complete and 100% hit, which you do as his screams of pain scorched throughout the prison, it only riles up the prisoners even more. More guards flood in and try to quell everything. It's beginning to turn into a riot.
Cicada, protect the child no matter cost. I'm gonna go start a riot.
Oh, by the
I
way,
would not.
before you finish going, you I'm gonna need everyone to roll in initiative.
Initiative.
Yes.
I'm going last. 4. I got +3. I got 1.
All right,
21.
Cicada.
Out of 21, my dude.
You got a 22?
21.
21.
21. Okay, let's put in D&D combat.
Hey, Sean, look at that.
All right then.
Let's touch the child.
Oh, damn.
Yes, and yes, the bartender has actually been following y'all, but actually quite quietly.
Well, they don't need to be that quiet because everything else is so loud.
Oh no, yes, she does for a very specific reason. But before we get to that, there is one other thing. Let's see then. It may take me a second to type in everything.
Got it.
I'm drawing my Ellie beasts.
Ooh, nice.
I'm basically doing a more digital version of the uh Ellie beast that you named Thelafluff. Fennel.
Oh, shit. Hopefully he's on our side. Well, at least I'm not last.
All right. All right. First up is the. By the way, since the cannibal leader got natural 20, he will be going
You go.
first.
Mm-hmm.
First, he will actually be aiming for Cicada.
Ah shit.
Ooh. Does a 21 hit?
Ooh, that is not medium.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, then. You receive 2 points of slashing damage as the cannibal leader slashes you with his claws.
It's medium. Hunters.
Oh, yes. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Alright, he attempts to swipe again, but question, do you dodge or block? Or would you rather him
He
just miss
blocks.
completely?
He just blocks.
Alright, you successfully block his second strike. But because of my homebrew Nat 20 rules, he also gets another set of turns. Nat 20 on initiative means he gets 2 turns, although misses his next turn due to exhaustion. Small hit and exhaustion. 12, 13, 14, 15. Does a 15 hit?
No.
Alright, then he swipes again, and you block the second strike as well. You can actually see him getting a little bit more infuriated as he goes in for his fourth strike. That's not good. That would be natural 20.
Fuck.
Oh no.
As
I knew it.
he raises his fist up and clashes it down for a total of, dang it. Wait, come on, I got this. For a total of, you're actually pretty lucky. For a total of 6 bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna have to step away for just 1 second.
I hope you accounted for the fact that we're all still level 1. I'm not that great.
Honey. When
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
done with
back.
the hello. Honey, when I'm done with the neutral type equivalent of the Eevee,
All right,
do you want to
all right,
do you want to see it?
right after that second, right after that second hint, the bartender actually jumps on one of the tables and with a, whew, 16, no, that's 6. She completely misses the first hit. As she attempts to do a cool axe kick, she ends up just falling on the ground. And Laser Cheese laughs, but I'm afraid that laugh is not long. as she then kicks him right between the legs,
Oh.
doing a total of 3 points of bludgeoning damage and being incapacitated for 1 round.
That's the chief.
All right then, Cicada, your turn. Cicada.
Okay. So I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, it's your turn.
He's going to use his quarterstaff to smack the men that, attacked him.
But you don't have your quarterstaff.
Oh, right, I don't have my quarterstaff. I have my breath weapon, though.
Yes, or you also have a tray that's actually at least like a couple centimeters of steel.
Breath
Or,
weapon.
yeah,
All
I don't know
right,
the stats for a thing of solid steel. But, breath weapon, go, bah!
all right
It'd basically
then.
be like
What's your breath weapon again?
Um, lightning damage, but he needs to roll a dexterity saving throw.
he's
One.
prone, so he can.
Oh, he's prone, so he can't? Okay, that's even better.
Perfect. Perfect. As you actually jump up, as he falls to his knees, you get up, face him, and launch a breath weapon directly in his face.
Yeah, that's 12 solid lightning things, and
He
that's the only time I can use my breath weapon
got it. He pulls
for
back in
this entire.
pain. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention you can use your breath weapon 3 times, and then it has to reach. Then it has to need a long rest to recharge. But if you use it 1 time, it'll only need a short rest. 2 times, and you'll need 2 short rests.
Basically, he's buffing you for now.
Oh no, it's for the entire game. I'm pretty that one shot is just not enough for the amount of damage and what it needs. It definitely needs a buff, and the 3 rules sort of works. So, bam.
Okay.
I just realized that this equivalent of Eevee but cat version is gonna, like, the male variant is gonna look a little bit like Eevee.
So, your turn ended?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, next.
Lizard
Sorry.
lizard number 2.
All right, lizard number. Wait, wouldn't be lizard number 1 since he got an 11.
I did it with how you ordered it. Lizard 1 got a 1, lizard 2 got 11, lizard 3 got a 2, lizard 4 got a 5. So that's why I did 2, 4, 3, and 1.
There are 3 lizards: the cannibal leader and his two underlings that just followed him.
Wait, then why did you write 2 numbers next to lizard?
Because I'm referring to lizard number 1 and lizard number 2 being 2 lizards, the first
Oh,
lizard and second lizard.
I thought you just fucking mobbed us with 4 more lizards.
No.
Never mind. Okay, yeah, so I am last.
Right, yes. Like, the first.
So yeah, lizard,
Right.
yeah, lizard 1 and lizard 2.
Alright, lizard number 1 runs up to you, claws out like his leader,
Oh shit.
with a 19. Does that hit?
Yeah.
Alright, but due to his much smaller stature, being the lizard, being the leader, being around 8 feet tall, while these lizards are more around 5 to 6,
Jesus.
his strikes will only do about 2 points of slashing damage, and since he's not that special, he only gets around one hit per turn.
Thank God. I can only kill one person straight off, and then I have no big spells.
All right,
That's
as
if I want to kill a person. I might want to heal instead. Okay, next lizard.
there is another. Okay, before you know, you do realize that you are in a prison that prohibits magic with a color that prohibits magic. Only for a way around it, a very small rune that taps into a much more powerful source of magic, meaning everyone thinks you cannot use magic.
Yes, which is why I'm only doing small things of I'm gonna either punch, use this basically prong for Urk in vital places that I can, and also every 2 rounds I'm gonna do a fire bolt, a cantrip. It's a weak cantrip considering everything too, considering I'm only level 1.
Oh yes.
Maybe a blue radar.
All right then.
I'm only gonna use that big spell if I need to.
All right, okie dokie. The second the second lizard man is actually then jumps toward you again after his companion failed with a 13, 14. It does a 15 hit,
Yeah, my armor class right now, since everything got taken off, is 13.
and you take 4 points of slashing damage from the second one.
Oh.
It is your turn.
Okay. Mocking, not having a good time. You know what? I'm gonna use the feat that no one has used for a long time because they want to be the ones that kill people. I don't have a chance. So everyone else in my group have it. I'm gonna do a quick little gruffle cower in back. All my allies gain advantage on attacks against enemies within 10 feet of me, and so far that's every enemy.
All right. Is this the only thing that you're going to do?
It's the only thing I can do. It takes up an action.
All right then. And all right, let's go back to the. All right, but because of the initiative rules, because
Ugh,
that 20 only
that-
really applied to that one state. So,
Just like a surprise round.
right, yes. So, since actually the bartender has more dex is more dexterous than the lizardman, he goes first with a 1 second. Come on. Work. 16, 17, 18, 19. As the bartender strikes again,
Don't forget they have advantage this whole round.
yes. Yes, I did put that there. Yes, I did do the advantage. As she, she actually she actually sort of roundhouse kicks she roundhouse kicks the leader of the tribe in the head with a 1d8 damage. With a total of 3 points of damage. And her second strike, she goes for another hit with her other leg. With a total of, with although not that much, being 2 points of damage with the second strike.
Hopefully this one is not cold or good.
And just before the cannibal leader does his turn, you can actually hear her say, I probably should have actually used not aimed for his head. He he actually does something a bit unique. He will actually attempt to sort of grapple.
Like an alligator bite.
Well, no. His hands are pretty big. He's going to both grab both Cicada and the bartender at the same time.
Oh, he's gonna have to make double checks with half the strength then.
15. Cicada, does a 15 hit? No, wait, not 15. Does an 18 hit? Right, it's an opposing strength check. Can you please beat an 18?
With a dexterity.
That was a thud. That wasn't a roll.
Remember, it's acrobatics. To get out, well, to avoid a
21. Why is trying to make shiny colors so difficult?
because you have to. mm, It's basically you have to layer colors to make it look like it is,
All
unless
right,
you're drawing it on paper.
I'm not.
all right. As y'all actually, all right. He actually attempts to grab Cicada, but due to Cicada's agility misses. The bartender, 12, 13, 14, 15, actually dodges it as well.
Oh,
Dodges
he's staying near them.
dodges it as well, but because that was one, he actually aims for the bartender again, and he hits, dealing 3 points of bludgeoning damage to the bartender.
Oh God, let's hope that she stays alive.
He and that is the end of the cannibal leader's turn. The bartender. No wait, no wait, scratch that. Next up
Cicada.
is Cicada. Yes, thank you. Cicada, you're up.
Okay. He is going to then punch the man.
Remember, you
Well,
have advantage.
I know. He's gonna punch the closest man. I'm gonna need that advantage. Holy shit.
Also, if you're
17?
doing against,
All right. By the way, quick thing. You are currently, I'm gonna say, 5 feet away from Maki Maki, and the two lizard men are about a foot away from each other and Maki Maki, while you are directly in front of around a foot away from the cannibal leader, same as and that's about the same as the bartender. Cicada,
Hmm.
it's it's your turn.
I'm sorry, I'm really bugged out right now.
Did a 17 hit, by the way? They asked that earlier.
Oh, oh, I did not hear them. Yes, the 17 hits.
Okay, he takes a solid 6 damage. Whichever man's closest.
Being the leader.
Yeah.
Well, I got triple advantage.
You strike
Double
you
advantage.
strike the leader hard. You strike the leader hard, but he doesn't. It seems like he barely even flinched from it. Is that the end of your turn?
Mm-hmm.
We each only can do one action.
All right. All right. Lizard one. Will now. Hold on. Crap, where'd I put it? Ah. Lizard one will now attempt to actually try to hit Cicada. 17, 18. Does
Wait, that
19
means
hit?
a cicada does a 19 hit.
Yes.
All right. All right. He goes to hit and he does 2 points of damage.
Hmm.
The second one comes in to hit Maki Maki. And he actually misses a hole. He actually attempts to do a large scratch, but ends up missing and hitting right next to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna grab the underpit of the arm and just another point blank firebolt right there, trying to hide it as much as I can.
All
But it's
right,
also weak.
all right. Then roll the damage.
Just straight damage?
Yep.
Huh?
There's no way for him to dodge.
10! Yes! I'm not gonna die, hopefully!
As you blast the fire directly in his face, he then begins backing up and screaming, trying to pat out the fire that's currently growing on his face, bumping into the bumping into the other lizard, which actually began a fight between the other two. More more guards are growing into the mess hall as the ride begins nearing its end. Well, less of a riot and more of a overall brawl. And the cannibal leader is actually attacked by a minotaur, pulling his head back. Y'all, would y'all like to escape combat?
Forlin,
It would be nice. It would be nice.
it would be nice, considering I'm 2 points away from death.
Oh,
Just kind of like, grab the child and run!
Cicada. No wait. The bartender hears it, grabs the child, and bolts for the door.
Forlin, seeing that the bartender is getting it, quickly gets up on the table. Mm, 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 Is is there any more prison forks around?
Yes. There's a couple prison forks that are on the